Hello! Today we're going to go ahead and work on how to subtract integers. So here we have our normal subtraction that you guys have been doing since you first started subtracting. 7 minus 2, we have 7, we take 2 away, and of course we have 5 remaining. Well, basically, we're doing the exact same thing when there's integers. Here we have 7 plus negative 2, and that is also equal to 5. Take a look at those two problems. What do you notice? What is different and what is the same? We know they both have some numbers. We know that they both have the same answer. So we're going to look and see how can we turn subtraction into addition? What are those steps going to be? So let's look at our typical 9 minus 1. Right? So 9 minus 1, we know what that is. We know that's 8. But we can rewrite this and get the same answer as 9 plus negative 1, also 8. So this is our technique that we're going to use. We're not going to subtract. We're not going to do it. We are never going to subtract integers. We are always going to change it to an addition problem and solve using those steps that we learned last class. So here's example 1, negative 5 minus 4. So our first step is write down the first number and keep it the same. So the first number, as you can see, is negative 5. So we're going to write down negative 5. The second step is switch the subtraction to addition. So we're going to write down a plus sign. Now our third step you have to be careful with. We're looking at the second number. So the second number in this case is 4, and we're going to go ahead and write down the opposite of the second number. So the opposite of 4 is negative 4. And remember, we're going to go ahead and make sure we put parentheses around there because there's no such thing as plus minus. So we have negative 4 and negative 5. So we're going to combine those together now. So we can think of this in terms of having the same sign. So we add them together and the sign stays the same. So we're using those adding integer rules. So negative 5 minus 4, or negative 5 plus negative 4, is negative 9. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that one more time, those integer adding rules. If we have the same sign, a positive plus a positive or a negative plus a negative, then we're going to add those numbers together and the sign stays the same. If there's different signs, if there's one of each, a positive plus a negative or a negative plus a positive, we are ignoring the signs to look at the absolute value and go big minus small, and the bigger number wins the sign. So here's an example 1, 18 minus negative 7. So we're going to convert it to an addition problem using the steps that we just went over. We're going to write down the 18 exactly as is. We're going to turn that minus to a plus sign. And now we're going to write down the opposite of negative 7. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. And now we're going to add. They're the same sign, so we're going to add them together. 18 plus 7 is 25, and the sign is going to stay positive. Example 2. Here we have negative 29 minus 12. So we're going to write down that first number exactly as is, stays negative 29. We're going to change that subtraction to an addition. And we're going to write down the opposite of 12, which is negative 12. Remembering to put our parentheses around it so that we know it's negative 29 plus negative 12. Now we're following those adding addition rules. They're the same sign, so we're going to add them together, 29 plus 12, and that gives me 41, and the sign stays the same, negative 41. Our last example here is 13 minus 27. We write down our 13 as is. We then go ahead and change our subtraction to an addition. And then we write the opposite of 27, which is negative 27. Now in this case, there's one of each sign. So we go big minus small, ignoring the signs. So 27 minus 13 is 14. And the bigger number wins the sign. The bigger number is that negative 27. We're going to go ahead and work and continue on adding and subtracting integers in BuzzMath.